come out recently.
Legit wonderful.
Yes.
Enjoy yourself.
Don't enjoy yourself. You're only allowing these people to just make more of this with this secret Saiyan who's stronger than freaking SS Blue Vegito.
Cool.
And he's just in the shadows and never mentioned and in his secret prison.
Cool. Cool.
This is what we're getting.
Yep. But people recognize it's a fun joke, fluff, who gives a as opposed to here's Jiren, the greatest villain I've ever seen.
But he is, though.
Cool. Yep. Get in there.
That sounds like a very similar to reaction that you just had about Dragon Ball Heroes, though, so I'm confused.
No. I was talking. DA showed me another Heroes thing, and I'm just like, cool. No, Super is trash.
There's the tenors of BG's cools that you have to like really listen for the subtlety. Cool is like, yeah, he's okay with it. Cool is he's pissed off at it.
We in there. Trunks and Vegeta's fuse. Cool. Get in there.
Jiren?
Yep.
No. Anything Jiren is like, nah. My girl Belle took me straight to the top.
Why am I not surprised, Belle?
They weren't ready for it.
You almost lost to a Ganon.
You don't. That's the story of my life.
You're almost losing to a Ganon?
Almost losing the Ganon. Because if no matter who you are, you're always one hit away from almost losing to a Ganon. It's not fair.
Is Ganon really that
I'm just imagining, like, just milestone moments of your life, like graduating high school. You almost failed. It's just your teacher stamping an F on your paper. Doria!
Go to your job interview for your current job, and he's just waiting there behind the door, charging the kick, just waiting.
All right, let me open this door to the workshop. No! Pokemon had another little trailer thing. Showed off some new Dynamax forms, which are like the giant forms. Charizard looks fucking
So dumb.
I'm so
I
tired
hate
of
all
Pokemon.
of it. How y'all hitting 1,000 with all the humans and the Pokemon are just stinking up the joint. That coffin looks so dumb.
I like Dynamax Charizard. He looks pretty fucking
They
sick.
keep willing out Charizard.
And I'm okay with that.
I'm sick of it. Blastoise and Venusaur gets no kind of love. Char is always Charizard, and I'm sick of it.
It's because Charizard, man.
Yeah. Charizard the best.
He's not the best.
He is the best.
Charizard the best.
He's good.
But
He is.
so they showed off a bunch of different Dynamax forms, and they have ones for the Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee. And I just love the fact that Let's Go Pikachu's Dynamax form is just original fat Pikachu.
Seriously,
It's
amazing.
it is.
Can we talk about Meowths, though?
I hate it. It looks so stupid.
Long cat.
I hate it.
Very long cat.
Yeah.
Like, Pikachu's like, oh, okay, that's a cute callback. Meowth. Wait, guys, what the fuck?
That's the, you know. That was the drugs finally kicking in. Like, they had some good designs, and then, like, at the peak of the creative portion of their high, they made Sirfetch'd, who's amazing. And then then they lost the buzz, and Dynamax Meowth came out of it. Robert Downey Jr.'s Doolittle.
Oh, did you
The
see
accent
the
accent is the thing.
Uh-huh.
Reddit, the Reddit stuff?
No.
Wait, what?
The Reddit stuff surrounding Doolittle. There was a dude that was working on a production company, and he just started releasing information. So the director was a piece of that clearly was out of his league and did not know what he was doing and
Oh, great.
micromanaging everything. So they would be shooting for the day, and the people would go, so where are the animals going to be placed? Because we need to know where Downey's going to be standing so we can place the animals there in post. And he goes, we'll figure it out. Just get this shot of shooting.
Great.
And there's like 5 stories of that.
Interesting.
We'll feel it out. Great.
The dude ended it with, I don't know who the production company is that they brought in, but if they can make it even watchable, they all deserve a raise. So he's thinking this is gonna be a dumpster fire.
Interesting.
I'd believe it, which would be very sad for Downey. I feel like he'd just kind of be annoyed.
Who cares? He doesn't care.
He doesn't.
need it.
He's-
This
he's
dude
made his
is
money.
doing. This is a passion project out there.
Yeah.
He's just like, whatever, freaking dog movie, polar bear, let's rock it.
Yeah,
He don't need this.
He's set for life.
Oh yeah, he's done. He's 100% done.
If they just go, this guy's eating 5 devil fruits, nobody wants to see that. Because it's such a
you
drop
say
from
that.
the Oda quality.
You say that.
You say that, BG, but we got Jinbei fans out there.
You have
Pumping
Jinbei
they fist.
stands out there. People who stand
Everybody
Jinbei.
wants to see SS5 Goku.
Everybody's waiting for that next one.
I think people just want Super Saiyan 4 back.
Oh, definitely. It's the best form. It's the best form.
It's the best form.
I just
But
on that
Go
note,
ahead.
you guys just put out as the first episode of A New Revisited.
Oh, it was so fun. It
Was it,
wasn't
DA?
fun at all.
What?
I got so angry, and I'm like, I hate feeling this way. Then I just got drained of energy. I'm like, well, at least I know that I'm not a murderer or anything. It's like, all right, take me in, officer. I did it. Because I just got drained for like 5 minutes. I'm like, I gotta keep the energy up, and I'm just like, oh, BG, go on a huge rant. And BG's like, well, that sucks. Pause. Look at me. I'm like, I'm done.
Oh no.
Take the ball, BG.
Oh no. No, sir.
You
Because
dribbling the rest of this shot clock out, my friend.
The issue with that was you went 4.5 minutes. We played about 20 seconds. I went for maybe 40 seconds, and then you jumped right back in. So I'm like, oh, he's got more in him. And then for the beginning of part 2, you go on another rant.
Oh.
And then you just, for like 5 minutes, go, yeah, I don't know. And I'm like, oh, he threw.
Oh, he used it all up. He got nothing left.
You threw it all at
I'm
the
not
spirit
an
bomb and still
I'm
had
not
about
an
14
angry
episodes to
person.
go.
But this dude was talking all this hot nonsense.
Yeah, it was terrible.
And I just exploded like 3 times. And then I just went, and it wasn't like fun. Genlock sucks. Oh my goodness. This was like, dude, you're doing stuff that legitimately pisses me off.
He was so mad.
Did y'all see that updated Sonic?
Yes.
I was
No.
gonna get to that after this.
Okay.
We stand with movies.
all right. Yes, he looks so much better.
Look good.
Oh, what
It
happened,
looked
EA?
big good.
You were the one
no,
talking about.
no. I said it looked fine. Now
Uh-huh.
I'm saying it looks good.
Bruh.
I never said that looked good.
Bruh.
I was on the fine train.
That train was a crash because he wasn't fine.
Yeah.
He wasn't okay.
We still doing this.
He wasn't a 5.56.
We still doing
He was a 2.
Yes.
That is
That looks so much
very
better.
correct.
It looks so much better.
I said there was always room for improvement.
You're
That I always said.
There was
that.
only room for improvement.
Dude,
That was a lead titanium inlaid fucking ground you had to dig to get work. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Podcast of Stuff, episode 176. I am alive.
Is that what we're calling you? Is that what you say you are?
As long as there is breath in my lungs. My phlegmy lungs.
Bruh.
Yeah.
What is wrong with your body?
It's a great question.
What
Definite
was that fucking disease your ass had when you were younger?
Kawasaki.
That fucking nerfed your
Mesothelioma.
immune system, right?
If your loved one has mesothelioma, you may be entitled
I have
to.
never heard anyone other than that guy on that commercial say the word mesothelioma.
I mean, did you know that Kawasaki was a disease before me?
No, thought it was just a motorcycle brand.
Exactly.
Huh.
Rare diseases are a thing. Yeah, definitely flu this time, just because I had a fever for the entire damn week. Like, the last whatever I had which was more than likely a cold. Like, I had a fever for a couple days, and it was just like congestion.
Coronavirus!
Yeah. We actually, so, my work is doing, I actually had a mandatory work from home day yesterday because they're testing, like, the resiliency of our remote work stuff in case. Just
In case.
Yeah.
Hey, the work needs to keep moving, people.
Mm-hmm. Are you even able to work from home with your job, DA?
Yes, but only the people who have been there for a long enough time that they can trust you.
Ah, okay.
To say you actually
They're not
get
going
work,
to trust
there's
the
no way
lone
to.
black.
I like how they trust you to take on like 8 times the work that a person of your relative experience would take on, but work from home.
No, you here, sir.
Black people can't get sick. Come to work.
Yeah.
Yeah, you say that till they're like, hold up, nah, you taking 10 days off.
All of a sudden, DA comes back in, sound like he did at the hangout. No. You go home.
I am so glad that happened during the hangout, because that would have just been an instant. You can't work, and I'm me, and I'm like, I will work if I am 100% able to, and if I'm just like, hello, hey you,
If you're 10% able to.
this is not working. I'm like, can you hear me? No? Okay, I'm gonna transfer you over. I just been a transfer monkey.
I like how you can't even imitate how shitty you sounded.
It was brutal, and I'm glad that there is a zero recording of that.
So bad.
Not a single word was recorded, and I'm so happy.
Just your whole "I'm a champion" monologue was one of my favorite things I've ever heard out of you with your voice. I'm a champion.
Yeah, but they don't deserve a recording after all the lack of beans we did. No, them.
Nobody is going to apologize for that. You need to get over it already.
I will never.
Let the beans go.
So
we're setting up Bean Uno soon.
Fuck that.
I'm assuming
Never touch
amongst
those damn
family
things
and
again.
or friends.
Yes, family, not our friends, because they're chickens.
Say what you will.
Yeah, a lot of shit happened over these past 2 weeks.
Yeah,
Who all here saw the My Hero movie?
I have not.
Right here.
What were your guys' thoughts?
Oh,
It was fine until the last 15 minutes, in which case I wanted to leave.
He was
That
so
bad for you, huh?
Yes.
Dude, he was
That was
so
the exact
mad.
opposite of everything that I wanted. And the first movie was exactly what I want.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just a hard flip.
Wow.
I love
okay.
the fact that everybody except for 2 people got something to do. They all had a big moment. They were all there. They were all prevalent. I love that. As opposed to the first movie where it's just like Sugar Rush, the bird dude, not here. Not these like 8 people, they ain't here. Everybody was here. They was rocking it. I really, really like that. That last 15 minutes. The second I figured out what happened, I went, this cannot be. And if this is because Hororoki said that that's something that he wanted to do in the manga, but he couldn't because that's obviously an ending, unless you're just ping-ponging it back and forth. But if that's his mindset, even having that thought, I fear for where this manga is going.
Can
If
you
he-
explain
if he's
to me what you mean?
capable of having these
right.
types of thoughts to put in his manga, I fear for it. Outside of Mirio. Here's what happened.
So spoilers.
Bakugo gets one for all.
Wait, what?
Yes. They're in a
How?
completely dire situation. They both got a cut on their finger. He transfers it over.
What?
Broke me.
And then they both get Super Saiyan hair for some reason.
Oh, and that looks so bad. And I'm like, why the electricity? All Might never had the electricity. Is that just a Deku thing? This doesn't make any sense. It's just this is cool moment, and I did not.
I know
like
they gave Deku the lightning when he fought Overhaul.
They gave him the lightning starting with full cowling.
Was
It was there-
it? Oh, you're
It's
right.
been there for full cowling.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're right.
Because he had it with Stain. That was about it.
Huh.
Shattered.
So how did he get one for all back?
Oh,
Eh,
one for all.
eh.
You did an incredible thing. You just stayed with Deku.
For some reason.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
So like I will say,
Oh
I know
yes.
EA
Oh yes.
Don't do
you
it
don't
if
care
you're
about
not.
this. Animation looked great. That's all I'm gonna say about it, though. The rest of it, complete and utter. This can't happen.
This is it's fanfic,
Exactly.
and I
Literal.
want no part of this.
Also, this movie had 2 huge spoilers for later in the manga that hasn't even been animated yet.
Oh yeah, there was. I'm sure people who are just like anime only. They're just like, wait, what? What's
So
What are
I'm going to
spoilers?
say, so again, spoilers. These are the 2 spoilers that happen because we're all basically current in the manga. One, they just flat out say, "Oh, Deku seems to have multiple quirks because the main villain has a limited stealing quirk. Like he got experimented on by the doctor whose name I forget, and they partially gave him yeah, Robotnik. One for all's or sorry, all for one's quirk, but he can only steal 9 quirks, I think it was. He can only have 9 quirks.
have 9 quirks.
Yeah, he can only have 9 quirks. So he tries to steal Deku's quirk. He tries to steal one for all. I always get them backwards. And he couldn't because he realized, oh, I'd be stealing more than 1 quirk. This kid has multiple quirks. Just says it.
What?
And then
Yeah, this
What?
takes place. This takes place like right after My Villain Academia. So they're just like, hey,
he's using shoot style. Deku is. So he has full cowling, shoot, and he's done one. It's probably like right after the overhaul fight, to be perfectly honest, because like the 100% him and Bakugo is super inspired from how he looks 100% against overhaul.
No,
The,
it has to be after that.
Yeah, it has to be
Yeah.
after that because Toga got her coat and he goes, I'm gonna make you proud, Doctor. And that wasn't really established until My Villain Academia.
And it has to be even, was it their little inner fight?
Oh yeah, the little mini tournament thing. That
yeah,
they
yeah.
had.
Was that before or after My Villain? I think it was
I don't think-
before.
I don't think it was. I think it was before My Villain Academia, just because they didn't have like the whole arcing not the League of Villains, but like the people that they got. I can't think of their name. The people that they fought in My Villain Academia. Oh,
The
Twice-
Liberation.
The Mutant Liberation Front.
yeah,
The Superpower
and
Liberation Front.
twice is not
Transforming into other people.
exactly. So that was a big thing. So this is like right probably when the villains
Adam
are
says that
fighting
the
the
music
big.
didn't help the scene either. Apparently,
The music was fine.
No, it wasn't. Stop lying to yourself, Mike.
I enjoyed
The music at the end.
the sentimental music didn't help that scene.
No,
either,
terrible.
According to Adam.
No, that thing was terrible.
Yeah, it wasn't great.
I thought it was fine.
Everything cuts out. You don't get the sound. I wanted the sound. I don't want. Yo, no. I don't give a about that. Let me hear the punches. Let me hear the electricity. All sound cuts out for in a minute 20 or some cents of music, and then the goodbye. All for shut up.
But the other big spoiler was Hawks is in this movie, and they just
Saw
come
that.
right out and say, "Oh, you're a double. Like, can you can you learn anything from your double agent status in the League of Villains?" But then he cuts them off and like says something else. So again, huge spoiler for this movie.
I mean, also just walking into this movie being caught up with the anime, you just go, "Wait, who's that?
Yeah.
Who's Hawks?"
I've seen a lot of Twitter posts.
Was he
sharing.
shown for being Tokiyami's like Tokiyami
Mentor?
interned with Hawks? Yeah.
Yeah, mentor.
Was he shown
That's
before?
that's
that?
later. That's
Okay.
later.
I think it was mentioned that he interned for him, but it wasn't like Hawks wasn't shown until the whole Endeavor is #1 fight with the
Essentially.
advanced Nomu. Okay. But yeah, like
And also another slight spoiler. When Todoroki froze that dude, he goes back to what Endeavor said, which was heat your body up to the absolute limit, and that's what he does to activate Flash Fire. So it must take place either right after Flash Fire, which is what, like 6
well, no, he
chapters
didn't.
ago.
He didn't have the scar yet. This is before
He
his fight with the
doesn't.
Nomu. This is before
Yeah.
his fight with the Nomu.
Doesn't.
Hmm.
So that doesn't make sense.
So this whole thing is just a continuity nightmare.
No,
Yeah.
no, it's just that one thing. Everything else tracks.
Roughly.
Wait.
Okay.
I do gotta say, so I saw it this past Sunday, and the theater was pretty packed. During the whole emotional segment where Deku gives One for All to Bakugo, and during the whole fight, and then once Deku says goodbye, One for All, I heard people crying in my theater.
Dude, I was looking up some in reviews and stuff and discussion, and people were like, I was so mad because I thought Deku was never gonna get that back. What are you talking about, dude?
Okay, human person.
And then immediately when the bullshit happens where a miracle has happened, thank you, one for all. I heard people then start laughing because I think they were pissed. We're like, I got emotional for that.
And then
You
you
dummy.
hit you with the triple of, oh, Bakugo forgot what happened.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just straight forgets.
His
Whatever.
arms are just broken, severely broken.
Why are my arms like this? Oh, let's not tell him. Tee. What?
Yeah, that brought it way down. I liked one scene in that entire ending, and that's when Bakugo is underground and he just starts melting this rocks and just pushes it at him. And I like that scene. Everything else, I was just rolling my eyes so hard because this is again just the Bakugo show, and I'm so sick of it.
Yeah, I'm tired of Bakugo. I was having this discussion with people. It's just like he's done.
I'm sick to death of it.
So now I have a question. Asspullery aside of One for All going back to Deku, if it were Mirio, if he gave One for All to Mirio with the ass pull of it going back to Deku, how would you feel about that?
Terrible. I would have been fine during the actual fight part, and then I would have felt terrible.
Wait, either way, you're going to feel terrible just because the asspullery is the asspullery.
Yeah.
But if it were given to Mirio instead.
You also got to figure out why is Mirio there? Why is he the only person that... There's a lot of things around that.
He could be supervising.
The only thing I give a shit about is it going to Bakugo. That's what pisses me off.
So you would have been, asspullery aside, okay with it.
Give it to Aoyama. I wouldn't have given it.
I would have been a lot better. It would have been a lot more favorable if it was anybody else. I think I said that as we were coming out the movie theater, as a matter of fact. I was just like, literally anybody else could have got that.
Yeah, no.
But it's just got to be the Bakugo show. Why can't you let somebody else shine? I had this argument with somebody else on Facebook. They were just like, Bakugo is the most changed character, and that's why I love him. I'm like, he's getting... You take... There's like, what, 20 kids in that class? 12 of them are so stagnant that is ridiculous, and Bakugo gets more and more and more and more. And I'm like, why him? Why not spread it evenly? Why even have so many kids if you're not going to do anything with them? Why not just go, UA is so hard to get into, we got a class of 8 and focus on those 8 characters, as opposed to giving Tentacles nothing, Sugar Rush nothing, Animal Dude nothing, Invisible Girl nothing. Why even do that?
She didn't do shit this movie.
She was one of 2 characters that did nothing. I'm like, she's so nothing that you couldn't even give her anything to do.
Who's the other character?
Animal Dude.
He managed to save Deku and Bakugo. He summoned that huge swarm of birds.
Oh yeah.
It's more than Invisible Girl. He had an egg.
Okay, then let's shift that over to Sugar Rush. He got a punch in that did nothing.
He tried.
He tried.
He tried to do something, but Invisible Girl literally did nothing. She stood there and
there was a recent chapter where she was just like, "Oh, because of Aoyama's belly beam, it's light and I can bend that." I was like, "Oh, is she gonna do that?" No, she's not. Here comes Bakugo to take down that villain.
I've always been interested in heroes recognizing that their power is more than just, I can turn invisible. Like Kitty Pryde, her power is going through walls, but it's actually like lightning and lightening up her molecules or some like making them really light so she can go through walls. So she can also make them really dense and punch hard. Like I'm interested in that type of figuring out your power stuff, and Invisible Girl getting like light bending stuff that interests me. But she does all of.
Well, I think this is before it was the winter episode.
I don't give a.
I'm just saying this is before those chapters. I agree with you. The general point of like they have this power that seems pretty limited, but it can be expanded upon to be really cool. But I think this movie took place before the chapters where they start kind of doing that.
They could have given her something to do.
Besides answer phone calls.
And that's my biggest problem because it is the Bakugo show. I'm just like, I walked into that movie going, I want a little bit of All Might. I'm not expecting a whole lot.
Dude.
My expectations are low.
Your expectations should have been 0.
And I just went, I don't want this to be the Bakugo show. And that's what I got. And that I'm sick of it.
Yeah,
Is
no,
this-
I agree.
Is My Hero going the way of Naruto for you guys?
Oh, I'm already
No.
no. I have not liked My Hero for about half a year.
Was it? When did it start?
Probably right after My Villain. I really like the villain arc, and then after that, I'm just like,
I like the Endeavor stuff.
but it's starting to be too much. He's developing too quickly. He went from all y'all to what does it mean to be a hero, and then he had that big old fight, and now all of a sudden it's just like everybody, I'm the number one, and I'm gonna rally everybody, and I'm just like, just shut up. It just
I gotta
switch
hold
flipped
on to
too
something
quick.
because the camera's right in Bakugo, Deku, and Todoroki's face.
Again.
And Deku's only concern is what is Bakugo and Todoroki doing. So I can't even attach to him. So I'm like, what I got?
Okay, what good manga do you go? I have to hold on to something.
Yeah, I know. No, I did get that it's not been too good for a while.
So
I'm there. I'm right there with you.
I went.
I'm liking
Even JoJo's had a part 5.
But at least I got like okay, so for My Hero, I didn't read like 7 weeks of it. If part 5 was going on as I was reading it, I wouldn't have skipped 7 weeks.
So you're saying that you dislike it even more than part 5?
No, it's
No.
just I think that there's just not too much going on right now, so the interest is sort of waning. It's a lot of setup, and the setup parts are hard to read week to week because you're going to set up, and it stops, and then more setup, and then it stops, and then more setup. They're doing the big hotel raid, which is sort of interesting right now, but
Hospital.
What did I said hotel? That'd be a lot lamer.
And there's like one new hero I like, and it's that fighting girl.
Yo, she's
The
super
bunny
hype.
girl.
No.
The bunny girl.
like her.
I like her. And then everybody else, I'm just like, I don't give a about none of y'all.
Hey, you know what's getting that interest up though? Just move your head right on over to the anime, and you got the gentle criminal tearing down these walls.
Dude, he was
It's-
ridiculous.
Dude, when you said that he got him, I was like, I'm going to the bathroom. Got up, went to the bathroom, started listening, almost fell down. Dude made me weak in my knees. I'm like, this is 100% perfect. This is exactly what I wanted.
This is all I wanted from
Okay.
Jitsu. And now that Deku fight is gonna be a monster. It's going to be a monster. Dude, just discussing it on Twitter, I had to read that arc again.
I read
No,
it
I
again,
want
too.
I want to forget it just so I can remember it while watching it.
Gentle hashtag the best.
I want the
But yeah,
fight,
Uh,
and I want the anime performance just because I'm actually I'm actually surprised. So like I am reading most of Jump stuff off of the official Viz Media app, like the official
same thing. I'm reading it through the Jump app.
Yeah.
I pay that
And
subscription.
reread that whole arc, and the performance chapter is still incomplete art.
Yeah, I was really
Still,
I
Yeah.
was reading it. I went, oh yeah, this was a short week and he didn't have time. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So I'm looking forward to seeing it animated to see the complete art.
Now, here's something interesting. I wonder if they do like they start banging the drums and it goes into like a manga style black and white thing, like when Luffy punched the celestial dragon, just to like wink at people that read that.
nah, I think that's too inside. I think that they
Yeah.
want to just have that big moment and let it.
I think like all the budget of this season is going to be going into that fight and that episode for that performance.
That fight
Like-
is gonna be ridiculous. I forgot, bruh. I'm glad people are finally with me that the Mafia arc is the worst arc of My Hero.
The Mafia arc?
Overhaul.
Oh, okay. Yeah, gotcha.
Yakuza. Yeah. people are like, "Wow, this was a terrible arc." Yes, it was.
Yeah, it wasn't particularly.
So yeah, terrible art. One Piece, I mean, not One Piece, but My Hero has like legit like 4 good arcs. It's just it just might not be a good series.
I think that there's enough good for it to be called a good series.
Hmm.
It's not amazing, great, but I would call it good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not the 10. It didn't earn the 10 million where One Piece is earning almost $1 million. That's a bit ridiculous. But in terms of quality, I think that it's quality enough to say it's good.
Hey now, but My Hero isn't going to be getting a potentially frightening live action adaptation.
There's no potential about it.
Boy.
I think it's gonna be horrific.
I have faith.
You're gonna be shocked at how awful that looks.
All of them are going to look like pre-patch Sonic. Let's be real here.
Care to bet?
Bet what?
I got a 50 bone on it.
50? What do we? How do we gauge the winner of this?
It's just got to be honest. Is it good? Let's say, is it better than?
See, that's problematic because is it better than what?
I was trying to think what's a good barometer.
Because we need based on where they end, because they may never be the Fishman for this season.
Yeah,
And
that's
my
say
main
first
problem.
10 episodes or so.
Which would be no, I think they could do the first 10 episodes. Alvita, Axan Morgan, Koro.
We will
Baratier.
get a good sense of where it's going from there.
I don't know about that.
I think so.
Yeah.
Because if it's like really bad stretching and like freaking Usopp is sitting there hanging with Zoro and you go, let's just combine them, let's go. Then we can start getting a sense of okay, they're not really respecting the source material, number one.
At the same time, you look at something like Supergirl or Flash and all these CW shows, they have times where, oh, this looks pretty good. And it's just like that for 20 episodes. And then you hit like a King Shark and you're like, whoa, what the and I'm just worried about the Fishman. That's my main concern. Everything else I think is gonna be mostly forgivable unless they just go this manga and just make their own story. It's gonna be mostly forgivable. Even if they take some liberties, I'm cool with that. It's just the Fishman. Once they hit that, if that is good, I'll go. They can do this.
I don't know what. I mean, we had this discussion before. There is really nothing to compare to One Piece, so it's hard to think of a barometer.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think of like live action anime sort of things. All I'm thinking of is Death Note and that's
Attack on
fine.
Titan?
Oh, you don't even.
Ooh.
That was real bad.
That's a barometer.
Hey, JoJo's was pretty good though.
JoJo was really good. We'll come up with the terms later, but I'm ready to drop that 50 ball.
I am 100% in if they get to Fishman. If we're allowed to look at the Fishman, and I can go, that's all right. I will hand over 50 on the spot. If
All right.
immediately there's some type of visceral reaction, nope.
Well, I think it should also be a sort of visceral reaction because they're fish people.
Okay, I don't mind if they look horrifying, because I think Fishman should look a little horrifying. I care if it's not implemented well.
Okay.
If they're using prosthetics with CGI and they're just like, this is okay, cool. But if it's just like a travesty, if the sun isn't even beaming on them right, it's just like, no, let's not do this.
Like cats where they're just floating on their skulls.
Yeah, like what are y'all doing? There's just hands in cats. That's what I don't want.
All right, dusting off our little bet section of my podcast talk. We actually have, I forgot you guys made this bet that BG bet DA that the third Sony Spidey movie will be as good as Far From Home.
Oh, absolutely. There's not even going to be a question at this point. Far From Home was pretty good.
What did I say?
Says BG.
Why did I
bets
say
DA
that?
third Sony Spidey movie will be as good as Far From Home. That is
You
what I
probably
have
came out
written
of Far
down.
From Home like that was really, really good. And where are they gonna go with it? And I probably went, it's gonna be as good.
Oh no! What are you doing, Da?
Yeah, he's
What kind of bet is that? You know what? Looking back in like a year, I was like, "Oh, what the One Piece bet? What was I thinking?"
just like that Roman Reigns boy. He's made a bit of man. This ain't happening.
Granted, I don't have a dollar amount here, so I don't even know what
Good.
you guys
Do you have a
bet.
date?
Good.
Nope.
Oh, thank goodness.
All right. Well, now that we have that, I had the dollar amount already for this One Piece one, but let's put what is today? 3/05/2020.
Yeah, that's gonna be this One Piece. If it even happens.
It's gonna
That's
happen.
true.
Yeah, well, with Oda tweeting out, it's probably gonna happen.
All right.
Oh, Oda is scaring the shit out of me.
Oh.
He just felt really ill.
Oh, that. Yes.
But then he got better.
I don't
Mike
care.
just felt really ill.
I don't care.
Mike falls ill all
Mike
the
did-
time.
Mike can go in that grave. He's contributing nothing.
Okay, Mike, so when you go to that grave, make sure you leave me your Tesla, please. Thank you.
You know, I was
Appreciate
just
that.
saying that I wasn't writing arguably the best shonen of all time, but that's
Ever.
that's a little mean. Contributing.
One thing you'll
nothing.
learn very much about us, DA and I, we're super mean, but we're also super nice.
So
Oh,
when
no,
does
I-
the nice part kick in?
When you're not friends with us. Why would you be nice to your friends?
Because they're my friends.
No. I
fight
will
for my
always
friends.
I will always be nice to my friends in that, oh, dude, I'm struggling right now. Here's 200 for you. No problem. I have no problem
Not
with
me.
that. I'm not doing that for a
Got
stranger.
burned too many times.
Okay, yeah, I've been
Keep
burned a
that
lot with
noise.
that.
Keep that.
But
noise.
you can understand what I'm going for right here.
Mike could be like, buy me a
Yeah.
pack of gum. I'd be like, all right, I'm gonna write this down. What you got next week? I'm coming back with my hand out.
But
I'm coming back with my hand out.
I can make the worst jokes to my friends because I know, oh, we're friends. Who gives a shit? It's good. Tomorrow we're all just gonna be playing games.
Isn't it odd that we had almost nothing 2 weeks ago and we got one topic and we got a bunch of topics and we're
It happens.
going nowhere.
It
It's complete
happens.
opposites.
I know.
That in movie.
It was fun.
Well, if we want to just segue away from that movie real quick, actually, I have a little something I want to bring up in the way of movies. I just watched the CG remake of the first Pokemon movie.
I wanted no part of that.
It looked so weird to me. Everybody's like, it's so animated, beautiful. I'm like,
Okay, hold
"Ew."
up.
I want nothing to do with it.
I don't need that
Oh,
Cole
I watched it
Lyoko Pokemon first
You-
movie.
no.
So you watched it too, Mike?
Yes, I did.
Okay, good.
Not
This is
my
gonna be a good
Ash.
discussion then. Oh
Hashtag not my first.
I don't-
Hold
I
on.
want- I
So
want,
did
I
either
want
of
my
you watch
main
it? Yes or
three.
no? You're saying no, right?
No,
We're not gonna watch it.
I'm not
Good.
gonna watch.
Hold on. Don't.
There wasn't there was never
Yeah,
a question.
yeah, don't. I thoroughly did not like it, start to finish. I respected some of the animations.
The environments
The-
look great, but that's about it.
The animations were nice. The effects and computer effects were great, but the models were awful. The writing was awful. The delivery was awful. They neutered the score from the original movie, like not like the cringy, awful like late
What are we
'90s, early
fighting
2000s
for?
music
We
playing
got
with
to
that. Yeah,
stop this war.
yeah, that didn't happen. But the actual background ambiance music that built on the emotion, that had added gravitas, added emotion, added impact to scenes. Not only was it not synced up right with scenes, they were cut out entirely, and there was blank spaces. when Ash emerged from the underground part of the island with the quote unquote army of Pokemon, it was essentially silent. It was essentially dead silent, and then they went with an aerial view. So while in the original animated movie, it looked like a really badass immersion, the music was kicking in, it was dramatic, it was impactful, it was fun, and it looked like Ash was, surrounded, by all these badass Pokemon ready to throw down. They cut to this aerial shot, and it kills the vibe. There's no music playing, so there's no vibe to begin with. But then you see they're spread out. There's, there's distance. It is a terrible, terrible shot. And it's just like, oh, there's not really that many. Oh, no.
They didn't want them models clipping into each other.
Legit, though, it was bad.
So, like, the best way I can describe this movie.
Oh, hold on. I have one more major gripe I have to bring up before we actually discuss it.
Okay.
The key dramatic moment. So we've all seen this movie, the original,
yes.
Correct? So the key dramatic moment when Pikachu is bawling their eyes out, shocking Ash after he's turned to stone. Perfect timing. It lasted just long enough to get the point across. In this version, it lingers. Way too long. It had gone on 10 seconds over the original by the time we had seen Pikachu start crying.
Ooh.
Uh-huh. And again, to no music.
This is what y'all get.
It was awful. Also, because this is also really fucking annoyed me. So we all know the Mewtwo line, the iconic, what the purpose of life is. But the line almost, people respect just as much is the Meowth line. They cut it. It's not there.
Which line?
The Meowth line. Meowth is just talking about him and the other Meowth looking at the stars and how we all live under the same sky. Again, impactful, building to the big, delivery by Mewtwo about what the meaning of life is. Meowth had the lead-in, Mewtwo had the delivery. They cut that, and it just became, oh yeah, your claws would definitely hurt. Oh, there's gonna be a full moon. Cool. Gone. That's all they gave us. I was waiting for it, and it just wasn't there.
I will say though, that Mewtwo line, they kept it in verbatim, which was like good. They did that.
But that's fine. But that doesn't give an ounce of forgiveness for the overall failure of this movie.
So the best way I can describe this movie is, all right, you go to Disneyland, you see Mickey Mouse, like the guy in the suit. We all know how Mickey Mouse looks and like what have you. But then you see those pictures of how Mickey Mouse looked like when Disney first opened, and it's just a nightmare, horrible version of what your memory actually remembers.
Yep.
That is what this movie is. It basically took Pikachu, skinned the flesh off of Pikachu,
Ooh.
and wore its skin.
Its eyes are haunting. There's almost like no light reflection going on. There's just a stagnant light blip in the top corner that doesn't go anywhere. It's very flat.
It's
and
just
weird.
the environments, like when they're in the storm, looked great. But yeah, just there's a certain charm that you have with 2D animation that is just lost in this transition. Like one of the scenes that I remember watching, and I'm just like, I don't feel nearly the same way as I did when I first saw the movie, or go back and watch it now, is Mew playing on the windmill. I remember watching that scene and thinking Mew was adorable. Or it's like he's like watching the windmill and it's like his head goes like up and down, up and down. Then he starts riding it and then falling and then riding it and falls back off. And it's just it didn't work as well in this 3D animation.
They look like monsters.
It's not even that. It's just like, again, there's just some kind of like it's hard to describe to me, but there is a charm in 2D animation of like how things are animated, like frame rates, what have you. I'm not sure how I could describe it, but there's just something missing in 3D animation. And just certain scenes lost it.
Yeah.
Like, lost the charm because of that. That scene in particular. When Mew is sneaking behind Meowth and Team Rocket underneath the castle. And just a few other things. And yeah, just, like, hearing the current voice actors voicing the characters, just, like you said, hashtag not my Ash. Like,
That's my biggest thing.
It just
It's not wrong.
sounded weird.
Very.
And
Yeah,
also,
you too.
I saw the trailer, and Brock, and I'm like, yeah, it really doesn't work in 3D with his
They
eyes
even
I
closed.
said
do
that
like
too.
It's weird and it's dumb looking.
they even do like the standard long-faced flirty Brock thing when he meets one of the girls, and it's awful. Oh boy, it's bad.
Yeah. Just overall,
There was never an option for me to watch this movie.
yeah.
Never
So,
even crossed my mind.
Another thing on movies that I want to talk about. So there has been leaked excerpts these past 2 weeks of the novelization of Star Wars Episode 9.
Jesus, my
What?
This
goodness!
is such a train wreck.
Oh
What?
no.
What are they doing?
There's
It's literally the worst.
so much
I've not
retconning.
seen a post patch like this since Cats.
There's been so much retconning.
I don't know
Mostly
what-
around Palpatine. And
Of course, because you have to.
So the things that have come out from, because the book isn't even out yet. I think it's like a couple weeks until it's out. Palpatine
Sounds right.
is a clone.
Yep.
He's a clone.
Confirmed. Hard confirmed.
Hard confirmed. A clone. And he basically, his soul is too much for the clone. That's why it's deteriorating. Rey's biological father, also a clone. He was a
What?
failed Palpatine clone that did not inherit the Force capabilities, so he was
Somehow,
discarded.
some way.
Somehow, some way. But
And he
his,
just let it out into the world. No
Yep.
problems.
and his biological daughter apparently inherited the Force abilities for some reason.
For some reason.
So she is the daughter of a Palpatine clone. The kiss at the end of the
Not
movie
romantic. Yeah.
was air quotes not romantic.
A kiss of gratitude
A
and
kiss-
nothing more.
A face sucking of gratitude. Totally
Very
not
awkward.
romantic.
It's the most baffling run back ever.
This
What's
is
even
some
the point?
this is some J.K. Rowling level of. Oh,
Nah,
but
nothing's
really,
at that level.
By
Ever.
the way, Kylo hates trans people.
I don't think
it's not
so.
JK.
Because JK basically just went, yeah, wizards poop their pants. You don't really need to know this, but that's just a bit of information. No, this is a clone. Okay, so he died, and he somehow his spirit transferred over to the clone easily, but he needs his daughter to behead him in anger, and it needs to be his daughter, granddaughter, whatever, in order for the spirit to transfer for some reason.
yes.
But it doesn't work, but it doesn't transfer when it's his own lightning shot back at him for some reason.
Of course.
I'm sitting
Duh.
there just constantly reading these episodes, these just reactions for people just going, what are they doing?
It is
It is shocking.
like the air quotes precedent of Palpatine cloning himself and his spirit going into the clone. There's stuff in the Legends lore. So I'm like, I'm not that fact. I'm not overly concerned about. If Episode 9 wasn't a movie already, I wouldn't have had as much of a problem with it, just because there's precedent for it in other Star Wars fiction. But this is just like an he's a clone. a clone.
Okay,
That's
but
it.
that brings so many problems into the. Hey, but he had a clone son, and that's the father. Wait. Excuse me. And for some reason, that was just a failed clone that he didn't destroy, and he just let out into the world. Did he come out as a fully grown man? Did he come out as a baby? Because he's growing Snoke clones. Are they what?
Also,
The
like, granted, like, yes, it was like his soul was deteriorating it, but when he absorbed all the Force juice out of Ben and Rey, why didn't he go to like being normal looking?
why did he only stop at the Palpatine that we know? Why didn't he go back to Chancellor Schnee?
Yeah, Chancellor.
Chancellor Schnee.
It's not Schnee, it's Sheev. His name is Sheev.
Sheev. Yes,
I just
Chancellor
said Schnee.
Schnee.
Yeah, I know. I messed that up. I couldn't remember his name.
Now I just want Weiss
Strike me
dad.
down, Weiss, for I shall become infinitely more powerful.
Yeah, I just want now him to like talk to Weiss and be like, "Let the hate flow through you."
Salem is not the ultimate bad end. It's actually Jacques Schnee.
Emperor Jacques.
With my dust, I am the most powerful being in the galaxy.
But yeah, just
I'll say this about the Star Wars fans. I've seen so few people accept this. I've seen so many people like, this is all well and good. Why wasn't it in the movie? Make it work in the movie. Put it in the movie. I've seen people going, this makes no sense. This is dumb. Why are y'all putting this in a book months after the release of the movie? Maybe that was something we needed to know in the movie to complete. I don't know. I will say, good on you, Star Wars fans, for not drinking up that cup of diarrhea.
Yeah. It's big bad.
Everything that I see is just like, no.
It's just more why.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, at this point it's just like, all right, like they're just seeing how much gasoline they can pour on this fire. Like that's the only thing. The only reason that I could even imagine.
Like back in the Last Jedi days, they put out this novelization that was just like one of the things in the novelization was a lot of people had a question about why could the bombs drop in space? There's no, and it was just like, oh, the bombs are magnetized to each other. And went, okay, that makes enough sense. You don't really need that. It's not a huge thing. You could just you can think of another thing away from that. But this one, it's just bam, 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 bam. And then they also the novelization of the freaking, not the novelization. It's like this dictionary, this visual dictionary that they got. They try to give personality traits to the Knights of Ren. Like, come on with this garbage. These aren't characters.
They're suits of armor.
They are creatively bankrupt, and it's showing.
I just want
this movie was a farce, and now you're just exposing your balls on stream. That's all you doing. This
author has to be like sitting there just like, man, I just took a job. I had to try and explain this filth away.
Make it work.
Then my editor just comes back with, oh, you need to add this, but that's stupid. You need to add this. Oh no.
Oh, they're gonna be mad at me.
They're gonna be mad at me.
Poor, like, and you know, like, this author had like no say of the actual content. He just had to flower it up and make it sound okay in text format. You know that's the case, and he still could get lambasted for sure.
I really do not understand what is the purpose of this.
Like, they've done this for all the Star Wars movies. They've had novelizations that like expand slightly.
Yeah, that's fine.
Like, I think I own the Episode 3 one, like back when it first came out. I think because my mom was distributing books, so she got it for me. And I remember that having a bit more here and there as far as like certain things, in comparison to episode 3 of the movie. But this is a new beast.
It's
From
bad. From the 3 or 4 things that we know of from the novel, like, well, what do y'all? Come honestly,
This to me is like, granted, like the lore of like it brings me back to when Destiny first came out, the first Destiny, where it's just like it's supposed to be this rich world full of like, you know, these rich characters and story, and then we got no story, and then Bungie was just like, oh, go read the logs. There's the story. It's like, well, I don't want to do that. I want it to be in the game. But it's like, this is like if you went to go and read the logs and it was like, this is fucking stupid. This is bullshit.
I remember 2 best friends. They were playing Spike Lee's. Spike Lee did a NBA Live like story mode. And most of it was just characters talking about their past. And one of them just went, Spike Lee doesn't want to tell you a story. Spike Lee wants to tell you a story about people telling you story. And that's what this is. I don't know why I'm so glad I'm not a fan. That's all I'm saying. Because this is, how do you have faith in anything that they put out outside of this?
At this point, I'm just enjoying the ride. Because this is an interesting and just I can't look away from it type of explosion.
Now, if I was invested in something the way that you are with Star Wars, I'd be hurt.
I'd be furious.
I'd be just like, what are y'all doing? Because you're always going to come back. And even if you're just like, oh, I'm here for the goof, you're always like, but what if it's actually really good, though?
But what if?
And that what if it's actually really good, though, that leads you to just get your hopes up, and then that brings you right back down.
How can people that enjoyed that movie at this
How?
point?
When it's a quarter of the story that you need is somewhere else.
Or the stuff that you thought was going on just wasn't going, like Rey and Kylo. Like, if you enjoyed all of that and just like to lead up to, and it's just like, no, but that's like platonic friend, thank you, kiss.
He's growing a bunch of Snokes. Why didn't he just grow a bunch of bodies and just transfer them over once they start deteriorating? Oh, that's just a question that we need to ask now. Never need to ask it before.
I think you're just at fault for asking the question. I think that's just
Yes, my fault.
Why are you asking questions, consumer? Give me your money.
Got a question things.
So I have just a few other small tidbits of news. One thing I do want to talk about, just because it's a cool thing. Final Fantasy VII demo is a thing. I haven't played it yet. All of my friends who are big Final Fantasy nerds are loving it, but that's the thing.
You
that
know the
comes out
hashtag.
in 3 weeks.
You know the hashtag. Don't care.
I know you guys don't.
I don't know if DA does. I don't.
No, I don't.
Okay,
It looks
never mind.
interesting enough, but I would much rather replay stuff that I've played a bunch of times.
Or how about try something new?
You know what? I want to. I honestly want to. But I can't bring myself, because I'm like, I got my little 3 days, but then I got to do stuff on the first day, and then the middle day is fractured by what we're doing, and then this is fractured by. I'm like, if I had just like a solid like 4 days where I'm not doing anything, I could get into something, but I don't have that. I want to sit down and just get into something without it being fractured. But you're not letting me do this with Revisited.
You're the one talking about, yo, we got to do Revisited. Yo, we got to.
Yeah, we do. It's fun.
Okay, then. So don't point to me like this the Revisited guy over here. Get into a new
Was
video game.
Revisited my idea or your idea?
I honestly don't know.
It was a joint idea, but it was like 40-60 you.
So start yelling at yourself halfway.
No, because it's more his fault. That's all that matters is that 60%.
The original Revisited on Soups Bats, that was 60/40. Because that's where it started.
No, because we used to just do that all the time. Just sit down and listen to stuff. And one day we were just like, we should record this.
Okay.
Anyway, yeah, I do want to play some new stuff. Because I was sitting there just like, I'm just playing One Piece when the new One Piece comes out in like 20 days. Why am I doing this? It's dumb, but it's fun.
Yeah, and I also have a new series.
Okay.
Where we're recommending stuff to each other. And he is watching reading Ippo, and I'm reading Flame of Recca.
Okay.
Ippo real good, y'all. I don't think I need to tell you this. I hate that it came out alongside Dragon Ball because it's just better in every way. And it's like, why is it? What made Dragon Ball catch fire like this when Ippo is such a likable dude?
Gratification.
He's just a likable, genuine dude.
Gratification.
Ippo
takes a long time in between different things to actually like happen.
Oh yeah, it's too much life of life stuff.
Yep, exactly. Dragon Ball is.
It's too much getting to know the character.
Yep.
Gratification. Takamura being awesome.
It's the same thing as why My Hero is so popular right now. It's gratification. There is just enough pacing.
It's hurt by it.
Oh, it is. But that's why it's popular, I'm saying.
But I also feel like part of the reason My Hero is not being good right now is that internet think tank, like the way people consume stuff on the internet, they don't have the attention to let things play out.
No,
because people are calling the festival arc a filler arc.
Yeah,
like we just had that overhaul arc. Now we got to go into this filler. No, this is canon. Well, it's boring. They're just standing around and talking to each other.
Yep, can't have that.
Their characters having interactions. I'm sorry, everything is in punch, bang, zoom, flash, fight. Just enjoy drama. Characters. No, it's trash. Call me when it's good.
Dude, people don't care. Well, I'm not saying not everyone. A good majority, at least, tend to not care about the build-up. And I know this just from observing my brother and his entire friend group. They're the same. They're like a very good picture of what I keep seeing and on Twitter or Facebook, people talking about these different series and whatnot. The gratification of, oh, okay, he's crying in this fight. That's character development. Okay, but what about everything that's coming before and after that fight? Is that important? No, because it's not in a moment of crisis, so it's not really important. That's how people see things. If it's happening during an action or drama phase, it's important. If it happens during downtime, it's forgettable. That is the genuine opinion of people I've been finding.
I hate it.
I don't like it either. I think it's ridiculous. You get so much more ability to delve into the character and what makes them them in downtime than you do when there's a million other things happening around them.
But it's also part of the fault of YouTubers, because you'll get this, I want punch bang zoom blah blah blah, and it's like, okay, but now this YouTuber is gonna tell me all the intricacies of what just happened, and now I understand the intricacies too, so that's awesome. No, it should just be in the story.
Nope.
But y'all don't want that.
But there are some people that just want what they want, and if they're not getting what they want, they have a lower.
I want to see what's going on with in Revolutionaries and Blackbeard and all them, and I ain't getting that.
An example,
and I don't care, because the stuff I am getting is so good. Odin, that flashback was fire, flames, fire.
I just leaned back from my mic as BG just like started yelling. It's like, whoa.
An example of this is Eric is right now. He's trudging his way through the Kingdom Hearts series, and he's up to by sleep, and he is not liking it because he's just like, who are these people? Where's Sora? Where's Riku? I'm like, you shut. Aqua is the best character in all of Kingdom Hearts, and you will respect her. Yeah, I'm just really not feeling this. I like the fighting, but the character, I'm like, you piece of shit. And I just want to choke him because I'm like, you don't understand how great this game is, and therefore you don't deserve to play it.
Wow.
Dude, I am 100% on that boat. People that don't understand how great something is don't deserve it. If you don't understand why Gentle is awesome and why that arc is fantastic, you don't deserve it.
I mean, you're talking about people who probably all will unanimously say that the Jiren fight in Super was amazing.
People love that fight.
They do.
My boy Jiren. Based on what?
Jiren, dude, I know. I have been seeing so many comments on things that Jiren is the best thing to happen to Dragon Ball. Jiren better villain than Frieza. Jiren better villain than Cell.
Cell is a terrible villain.
I like the last.
But he was
minutes
better
of
than
that
Jiren.
fight for
Yeah,
superficial
absolutely.
reasons.
What was that?
I said I like the last 2 minutes of that fight for superficial reasons.
Mm.
That's about it, though.
I'm so happy that Jiren is arguably the worst character in Fighter Z.
Wait,
Really?
Brings a smile to my
Oh yeah,
face.
he's terrible.
Ooh, that's good.
Are
to
you
know.
like? I don't know if I misread those some comments on Facebook, but are you going to be playing fighters as Kefla?
Who, me?
Yeah, I may have just.
She's interesting.
Oh,
Okay.
what are you talking about?
Yeah, she's interesting. I have no interest in playing Fighter Z, but she's interesting.
Oh, okay, you're not going to play it competitively.
I'm not. No,
Okay.
I don't like that game.
Okay.
I really
What?
like Grand Blue Fantasy Versus. That boy is
Really?
hype balls. That boy is the hype.
Okay.
So actually, good little segue to at least the cool bit of news. So I think just last week. So for those that know any little inkling about competitive Super Smash Brothers, knows that Nintendo fucking hates competitive Super Smash Brothers. They do not support it in any way, shape, or form. They will occasionally sponsor some events, but it's only if it's only Ultimate, their new game. They basically want everybody to forget Melee exists. But one of the bigger names as far as helping host tournaments and streaming tournaments, VG Bootcamp, as well as one of the bigger majors for Smash Bros, is actually sponsoring and heading a Smash Bros World Tour tournament circuit that actually has, between Melee and Ultimate, a prize pool of $250,000, which is, for Ultimate, fucking enormous.
I'm surprised you nor DA have ever went to Detroit hosts one of the biggest Smash
Frostbite.
tournaments in the
I
world.
told DA to go to it.
I ain't had no more PTO. Kinda used it all when my mama died.
And that, all right, hey, okay. Direct that at your brother. He's the one who brought
Directed at my mama.
What you directed at me for what?
You're the one who said you brought up the question.
I said I'm surprised. Not D. What in you go?
Y'all really wanted to. That
It was-
been fun to at least just watch it.
I will say, I watched the stream of that tournament. That was some of the best Smash Bros that I've seen play.
Oh yeah, I watched the whole thing, the team tournaments and everything. That thing was amazing.
It was MK Leo. What the fuck, man? But so this new World Circuit is going to have platinum events, gold events, and silver events. Platinum are like the big majors, like Frostbite. Gold are like the A and maybe B tiers, and then like all the C tier tournaments or opt-in tournaments where it's like depending on how many entrants you get and what have you, and you opt in your tournament to the circuit, you'll get a certain amount of points, and then the top 3 finishes that you get in platinum, gold, and silver will then be tallied up for the final tournament of the year, which the top 31 players will get in automatically, and then they're going to have one more tournament to get the 32nd placement, and then
That's called
have-
a last chance qualifier.
Yes, last chance qualifier. Thank you. And then those 32 players will compete for the main pot, the $250,000 pot. Which is split between Melee and Ultimate. First place between both of them gets $40K, which is the most out of any Smash Bros. Tournament ever. And the other cool thing is all 32 players for both games have their travel and hotel accommodated for them, which to me is huge because that means all of their winnings are actually winnings. Because that's been a big thing with Smash Bros. Pots. Evo, biggest, fighting tournament out there for basically every fighting game for Smash Bros. Ultimate. Was the top amount of entrants for any Smash Bros. Game, I believe, ever. And for that Evo as well was the highest entrance of any game. In top 8, the two players that tied for 7th, I believe, which was Light and Zachary. Zachary is a Japanese player, so obviously he flew over from Japan to play in this tournament. They both won $300. Top 8 at Evo probably didn't cover their hotel in Vegas.
That's not fair though, because Nintendo didn't want that pop bonus. They didn't want to give them shit.
Well, that's been one of the main issues is Nintendo doesn't contribute to prize earnings. That's been one of the biggest things with competitive Smash is in order to make a living out of it, you have to do other stuff. You have to stream. You have to be a content creator. You have to do.
Oh yeah, hands down.
So much. It's part of the reason why Zero doesn't compete anymore, just because the stress of it is just for him. It wasn't worth it. This actually, you'll placing in the top half of this, end tournament qualifier will be more than worth it. Will be thousands of dollars won, which hasn't been a thing in Smash. So that's every single person in the competitive scene that I've seen. Hungrybox, a whole bunch of different pros are just super excited about it. And they're actually also really happy that it's still maintaining the grassroots nature of the Smash Bros. Competitive scene. So that is cool.
Yeah, good on them. Looking forward to some, because they're gonna be fighting their hearts out.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, hands down.
Leo is going to be having to
Informed.
hunker down. I'm just gonna breeze through all the other random news tidbits. Streaming game services aren't doing so hot. Stadia basically doesn't have a player base anymore.
What?
Yep.
Are you serious? What? The
Yeah.
shock. Come on
And then
now.
the other thing is GeForce Now, which was the NVIDIA streaming platform. They just actually released recently, and the whole premise of GeForce Now was stream games you already own. So it's games you own on Steam or what have you or other platforms, you can just stream them. And a whole bunch of publishers were like, wait, whoa, hold on. No. If you're going to be playing our game on another platform, you need to buy our game again. We're taking our game away. So there are so many publishers that are taking their games off of GeForce now that it's actually released, that they're like, oh no. So they might be dead on arrival.
No, it feels like people are actually trying to fight this back. It's because they find it to be extremely greedy by publishers.
Oh, it is.
Even indie devs and such, and they're just like, no, that makes no sense. I bought the game, and it's no different from playing it on a second computer or playing it on it makes no sense.
Steam
to
Link.
just go, no, you can't play it.
Yeah.
Where it's
It makes no
where you
sense
have it on
that
your
you
TV and you
can't
stream
play
it from the
this.
computer. Yeah.
So people are actually fighting this back. We don't know.
But yeah. So there's that. The PS2 turned 20 this past week, which makes me feel old. It also reminded me, I think it was actually Sony that tweeted it out to the PlayStation Twitter. I forgot for when you were looking at your save files on a memory card that it had like the little icons for the characters and stuff that are in the game. I'd
How could you
completely
forget that? That was the hypest thing.
I
How could you forget that?
because it's been 20 years. But yeah, I remember that. I'm like, that was fucking awesome. The Switch turned 3 years old, which again, that's just like, wow, okay, where did that time go? Platinum Games announced their new game, which is called Project GG. It's made by the guy who made Beautiful Joe and Wonderful 101. Apparently, it's gonna be like Super Sentai meets Kaiju, essentially. The guy makes superhero-based games. Bob Iger stepping down as the CEO of Disney. What else do I have?
Yeah, I like how nobody had nothing.
Yeah.
Who gives
And-
it?
yeah, it's just a bit of news. And then have you guys seen the stuff that people are making in Dreams, the PS4 game?
Yes, I've seen all the original content. I've seen all the less than legal content.
The remakes?
Yes,
There are
some
some
dude just made Sonic.
yes. And it is like almost tit for tat a modern Sonic game. It's
It's
kind
just
of
Sonic.
nuts. Like there are some that are like, like I saw the Banjo one that was like, that's all right. But like the Final Fantasy one, the Final Fantasy 7 one looked really fucking legit. There's something else that I just remember looking at and going like, holy shit, this looks good. I have to go and look at the video again. But yeah, the
It's
Sonic one
straight
was
Sonic.
there were others as well. The Little Big Planet remake looked interesting. There's a first-person shooter that I'm thinking of. There's a Portal one that like was almost tit for tat. There's a bunch. Like just go look up like Dreams game remakes and you'll find a bunch of stuff. that game can I need to pick it up because I just want to see like it's kind of uncanny how much there's a Fallout one. There's a Fallout 4 remake that looked almost
that
one
was
for
good.
one. Yeah. And the only other thing is just obviously everybody knows about the coronavirus, but just like the effect it is actually having on a bunch of stuff right now.
Oh yeah, Chinese trade is essentially dead.
The new Bond movie got delayed because of it. Because
Oh,
they
really?
yeah.
Yep.
They want that Chinese market.
They got pushed to November just because they're concerned that people won't go to the movie theaters because of the scare.
No, they're concerned China won't go.
Mm-hmm.
The games
China
developers
movie theaters are closed at the moment.
Yeah. The games developers conference was canceled because of it. And E3 right now is gauging day by day if they will actually have a conference.
Rooster Teeth just canceled their Let's Play Live because of it.
Just it is actually a thing that is affecting. I mean, like I said, my work is currently like going through steps to be like, hey, if something happens, we're prepared for you guys to work from home for like a month or more. So yeah, it's everywhere. Wash your hands. Don't touch your face when you're in public. You know, common sense. Check yourself. All right. With
Wash
that,
your hands after pooping.
and just in general for
Yep. But I need to make food.
all right.
I'm hungry.
What are our facts?
13 facts about the flu.
Ah,
You mean what Trump says we need to use to treat the coronavirus?
the corona flu.
Just use.
He's
He legit said we should use flu vaccines to cure the coronavirus.
That's how it works.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Exactly.
That's how medicine works.
Let's do lucky number 13.
Yeah.
Sure.
About 25% of people with the flu sneeze when they look at the sun or bright light. They're
Yeah.
sometimes referred to as sun sneezers, and it's a genetic trait.
Amber has it. No, Amber has it.
Well, it's like
Human-
hers is all the time though. It's not just the flu.
True, but it's one of those things that doesn't surprise me as existing because of the flu. It's one of those things that just exists
That's just
generally.
dumb. That just seems miserable.
You're just outside. Achoo! 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 I mean, there are light allergies, so I guess I could see that.
The human body sucks.
It is a flawed mess.
You don't see a puma with this kind of problem.
Nah,
They got their own problems, though.
They probably do. It's just they die in a week. Or we just are medicated enough to sustain our existences. I mean, look at me. Shiny
Just
beacon.
keeping on.
Thank you, everybody.
One day at a time.
Thank you, everybody, for tuning into this episode of the Podcast of Stuff. We will see you next week. Maybe not. We might all be dead from Corona flu. Who knows? As Trump says.
Yes.
Bye.
Later.